Hi, Harris here of the Dads, Harris and Dave. Today I wanted to talk to you about some upcoming plans we have. My mom, in a couple of weeks, will be turning 87 years old, and we're very excited about that. So we're going to have a little Sunday supper here at the house to celebrate my mother's birthday. And one of the things we decided to do was to make an Italian pasta dinner. My mother's from Palermo, Italy, and so she grew up in a very Italian home, and so the idea of making pasta from scratch is really exciting to me. You know, Dave and I have an antique business, and I attend auctions at times and pick up antiques, and I happen to pick up this this cool little pasta maker, which has inspired me to want to do this. So Dave and I have done some research to try and come up with some recipes on how to actually make pasta. This is going to be my first attempt to, after we reviewed several recipes, we put some together, and this is going to be my first attempt to make actual pasta from scratch. Now, most recipes, when you see them, you work on a large space, you put your flour out, you put a well in the center, and you crack your eggs, and you start working the eggs into the flours, is what I've read. But this is year 2014, and I think we're time to try and use a Cuisinart. You've seen me make a pie with a Cuisinart, and so I'm going to use the same theory and hopefully try and make my pasta dough in the Cuisinart as well. So we start off with 1 cup of semolina flour, and then 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose. I use King Arthur, as you've heard me say in the past. So I'm using 1 3/4 cups of King Arthur, and then 1 cup of the semolina. To that, I'm going to add a pinch of salt, and I'm going to add 6 eggs. It's always best to use farm fresh eggs if you can, because ingredients are everything, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so I'm going to make a little well in the center here, and put my eggs in. Hopefully this will work out. So then I'm going to shut it down, and these Cuisinarts have this little hole in the top, because what I'm going to do is pulsate, and then I'm going to incorporate in some olive oil. So I'm just pulsating right now. I'm going to add in probably about 4 teaspoons of olive oil into this. It's what we believe we're going to use here. See how this is looking here. I'm thinking I might need more flour in there. But this is a work in progress. Never done it before, so you never know how it's going to turn out. It might work, it might not. So here we go. I'm thinking this needs a little more flour. So I'm going to put a little bit more all-purpose. Let's say with a 1/4 cup. We're experimenting with the dads, Harris and Dave. I'm just going to try and add a 1/4 cup of additional flour, so that would be a total of 3 cups. Many recipes I saw can take up to 6 cups of flour. So, let's see how this is going to work out. I'm not sure this machine's going to really pull it together like I was thinking it would. So I think I'm going to have to go with the go by hand from here process. We're going to just flow as we go. Put a little flour down. I'm going to take this dough out of the Cuisinart. I'm just going to dump it out because there's a blade in there. It's a pretty sharp blade. And I don't want to reach in with my hands and take a chance on getting myself hurt here. So I'm just going to take out this, and I'm going to knead this by hand. Now you see the nice, beautiful yellow color? That's because we're using these farm fresh eggs. The yolks on them are just amazing. They have so much great flavor. Free-range eggs, that's the way to go if you can get them. They sell them at your local market. Alright, I'm just going to knead this. You may need to knead this for about 5 minutes or so to really incorporate the dough. But whenever you're working with dough, you never want to overwork. That's the key with any kind of dough. If it's for a pie, and I'm sure it's the same thing for pasta, but we will see. Then after I knead this, what I'm going to do is separate this into a couple of pieces, and I'm going to make discs, sort of like this, out of it. And then I'm going to put it in the fridge, wrap it in saran wrap, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let it rest for about a half an hour. So I'm going to sit and finish kneading this for about 5 minutes, and then wrap it in the saran like I talked about. And then after about 30 minutes, we're going to come back and we're going to try out this pasta machine and see if this darn thing will work. Okay, I'm back. The dough has had time to rest. Dave was good enough to set up this pasta machine. Now, you know, we've never used this before, but we had to figure out where we could place it so that we could turn this handle. And so we have our kitchen table opened up, and so where we normally put a leaf in the table, I'm using that so I can get my hand down there. I don't know, whenever they created this thing or made this thing years ago. So I take a piece of the pasta, and I have a bowl of regular all-purpose flour here, and I have a little dish of semolina flour. From what I've read on the internet when Dave and I were researching this, is that you use the all-purpose flour to stop your dough from sticking, and then once you make your pasta and you put it on the wax paper, use a little bit of the semolina flour so it doesn't all stick together. So I'm using this machine. I started on the widest setting. There's a setting here, right here on the side, and what you do is you just keep moving it to the next lowest setting, and you keep running the pasta through. I'm sure you've seen this done before. This is my first time doing it, so bear with me here. So, rolling this through. I'm going to take it to the next setting. I'm going to roll it through again. I think the thinner it is, the better it would be. This dough has a nice elasticity. I think it's pretty good. It seems like it's really turned out well. First time at it. The proof is in the pudding, though. Can't wait to taste it. So I'm just going through this step by step. And as you see, it's stretching the dough longer and longer. And it's making it thinner and thinner, which is really what we want for making pasta. Okay, that was the lowest setting. That was it. So now we have this pasta. Oh boy, it's sticking here a little bit. That's not good. Well, that I'll have to redo. So I'm going to cut this in pieces. As you know, this is my first time doing it, so I'm not an expert at it. And then this setting here, up here, I'm going to move the handle out of this machine and put it right into here, because this is where I would make my actual noodles. So I can put the pasta through here like this, and then out comes the noodles at the bottom. And I'm going to just put that on the wax paper. I made a mess out of that one. Let's see if I can do a neater job with the next one. Oh my. Anyway, so here we go. Putting it through. There we go. Now that's a little bit better, huh? So I'm going to put a little bit of that semolina flour, and then I'm just going to put this on the wax paper like this to dry. So I'm going to do this with a bunch of this, and then we're going to actually boil some of this pasta, make a quick little pasta with some olive oil, garlic, and some sun-dried tomatoes, just to try it and just to taste it. So we'll be back in a few minutes after I get this done. While making pasta from scratch, it may be simple to put the dough together, but trying to make this pasta is not as easy as it seems. You come out with these long strands of the dough. In any event, I have water boiling here. We're going to test this out. I have some salted water boiling here, and I'm going to put some of this. I'm going to put this pasta. I made two kinds. I made a spaghetti, and then I also made a. I guess this would be like an Alfredo type of pasta, the thicker one. Fettuccine pasta. Thank you, David. So I'm just going to throw this in some boiling water, fresh, right off the cup. And then I got this little pan here. I'm going to put some garlic, chopped garlic, half butter, half olive oil. I use Kerrygold, and use a little pasta fork to keep this separated, to keep it moving along in the water. It does not take very long to cook fresh pasta. Alright, I'm going to add to this, should have had this out, sorry about that, but I want to add some red pepper flakes to testing this pasta dish out. Let's give it a little heat. Okay. So I'm just going to cook this pasta for a few minutes here. I want this to be happy, but I don't want my garlic to burn over here. Okay. So I say this needs about another minute. So just come on back to me. Okay, the pasta's been cooking for about 2 minutes. That's all it seems to have taken. And I've got this garlic and sun-dried tomato. I'm taking the pasta right out of the pan, and with some of the spaghetti, with some of the starch water from that pasta cooked, then I'm just going to add it right into the. I think that's about all I need for this dish. So I'm just going to take that off the burner. I'm going to mix this up, incorporate these flavors, add a little salt, add a little fresh pepper. This is smelling so good. I can't wait to taste it. So you see it's sun-dried tomato, a little garlic, and now I'm going to put some cheese on it. A little Reggiana Parmigiana cheese right on top. Now, you know, this is just, I'm just doing a quick little pasta like this just so we can taste it, because I want to know how good it is. But you can do anything with this. You know, any normal pasta dish, you can just use this fresh pasta. I got a feeling it's going to be great. Let me grab a fork. Let's give this thing a taste and see how it is, huh? Get a little bit of those sun-dried tomatoes, some of the cheese. Look at that. My very first pasta dish. Yay! Oh wow, that is really, really good. Wow, that's excellent. I think we still want to do a little bit more testing. Mario Bertelli's recipe, which I always get his name wrong, is way different than this. It uses only all-purpose flour, uses less eggs. So we'll give his a try. But I think this one was great with. Really good. Gotta try it. Thanks.